Hey YouTube, it's me, your girl Andrea here at Helping Hearts 888. If you're new here, I would like to thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you've been along on our journey with us, I would like to give much thanks and appreciation to you guys. I finally hit 200 subscribers, and these are just personal goals for me. So I'd like to thank you. And this is my son Royal. He is 6 months old. But I would just like to show appreciation to you guys for following me on my journey and for helping me and my family out. It means a lot to me. Now, for those of you who have been along on my journey with me, I have some changes in my life. I haven't been on for a little bit. It hasn't been that long, but I haven't been on for a little bit. If you were on this journey with me not too long ago, I had posted on here a video, and I was excited, I was engaged and things like that. So there are some updates to our lives. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it because that is what my channel is for. I'm just here to share my life and be as open as I can. I have recently got engaged. I've known this guy since the end of 2019, and I really felt like that was the one. And he came into our lives at a time where I was really, really low. My children's father, who I wasn't with, but I was helping, had gotten hit by an 18-wheeler here. And I was going through it. I was really, 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 really going through it. And he came to me at a time where I was at my lowest point, I feel like. And he seemed so perfect to me. There was many, 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 many red flags looking back that I chose to ignore, and that's why I wanted to come on and talk about some things. Hey, peek me in. But he was incarcerated at the time, and that was a red flag. That was a red flag. And it's okay if, that's your situation. But for me, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. And I feel like I wasn't valuing myself enough to look at things. I always was told about you're better than. And I've been through a lot of things in life. Yes, Sunny boy. I've been through a lot of things in life, and from domestic violence. One of my ex-boyfriends tried to set my house on fire because I didn't want to be with him anymore. I've been hit. I've been abused in many, many, many ways, but I've also been the abuser too. And I will admit that. But he was my better than. And to me, a better than is from your past relationships, the person that you're with is better than them. And you choose to settle. And I feel like that's what I was doing. I was settling. I was settling because he was my better than. He was my better than. So I feel like I had a low self-esteem too, because I felt like I'm a mommy of 5. I'm 35 years old. I'll be 36. And I felt like, well, I have a lot of kids. He said that to me before. And I didn't even, well, good luck finding somebody else to be with you. Only a fool would have you with all these kids. And I allowed that. I really, over the last month, I'll say, had to sit and just look at things. I no longer wanted to sleep in the room with him. I didn't want to be intimate with him. He stayed in another room all day, played video games, drank, and smoked. Red flags. Red flags everywhere. He would, granted, I would look at it too as, well, he works. But the problem is, he might work a job for a month, maybe two, on a good note, and maybe two on another note, and he would get to the point where he would try to dictate. And let me pause real quick. I do breastfeed on my channel. If you feel uncomfortable with that, then click off the video, because I do breastfeed on my channel. I'm trying to share that part of my life as well, because there's moms out there who need help with doing that, and there's moms out there who just feel uncomfortable because society frowns upon that a lot of the time. When I do it in public, no. But back to my video. He will work, and then he gets fired. Then he gets another job. Then he gets fired. Then he gets another job, and he gets fired. That's a red flag. Another red flag would have been the fact that he feels that because he did work, he doesn't have to do anything in the house. Not take out the garbage, not help me with our children, clean up after himself, nothing. That was another red flag. Me, as a woman, I don't mind cutting grass or anything. Doesn't bother me any. But I noticed that he didn't feel he should cut grass. But he wanted to apply at a job for doing lawn care because they had a riding lawnmower, a zero turn. But he'd rather me pay out of pocket to get my grass cut, when this is for our home, our household, and to keep our home nice. It's another red flag. Another red flag that I should have looked at was the fact that I own my own home. I own my own vehicle, and he didn't have either one of those. Recently, he decided to argue with someone at work who keyed my car. On top of that, someone backed into my car at his job. And it's like he was just constantly breaking and tearing up my things. And I really had to remember something that I was told, that a person with nothing will help you lose everything. My intuition had been going off, telling me, get out of this situation. I have been dreaming, seeing things. And it's like, no, Andrea, you have this make-believe fairy tale in your mind, I'm going to say. Make-believe fairy tale. Because that's what it was. And granted, we had our good times and our good moments, but he was my better than. He was my better than. And I'm just coming on here just to talk about that, because sometimes we ignore. You bitches stuffed it. You bitches stuffed it. We ignore the red flags. Sometimes we want to look a certain way to the people on the outside. Or sometimes we start things and we feel like we got to see it through because we don't want to, oh man, people are going to talk. People are going to talk. I noticed that I got to the point where I didn't put in the effort anymore to try to get upset or try to tell him, anything. It was just like not there. The emotions were disconnected. There was no more. Not that I wanted another person. I just didn't have the feelings and emotions anymore for him like that. And I stayed. And granted, it took me about a month. But I just couldn't do it anymore. It was a facade. And me just not listening to my own intuition and seeing all the red flags, because I seen them, but I wanted to ignore them. because he was my better than. And he didn't want me talking to certain people. I wasn't allowed to, if I wanted to wear a wig, because I have very long hair. But I wanted to wear wigs because I wanted to wear wigs. I like to change up my hair. He didn't like that. I don't wear revealing clothing, but sometimes something that I might want to wear, he didn't like it. Or, I'm going to give an example. Easter, I got a denim jacket. I love the Rugrats. And it was denim blue. But I put on my black jeans with a white top and my brand new pink sneakers. Because it's pink on the back of it. And he said, well, why are you not going to wear blue jeans? I feel comfortable with this. This is what I want to wear. There was a point in time where I would make jokes and say, I'm going to get my behind, done. No, I wasn't really going to get my behind done because I've had C-sections before, and that's enough for me. I don't want you cutting on my body. Don't want you cutting on my body. I am going to do my squats, and I'm going to wear my lifter to show my muscles while I'm doing my housework. It's fine with me. But I really wasn't going to do it. But why are you going to do that? Well, let's say I really was going to do that. That's my body. I'm comfortable with that. That would have been my choice. But he would dictate things that you're not going to do that. And you're not going to do that. You're not going to do this. I feel like he was one of those men who feel that a woman is beneath a man. We are to be home, pregnant, cook, clean. And another thing is sex. Sex. For me, I'm beyond that point. I don't feel that if you're not doing the things in the relationship that I need to feel from you, there's no point in that. That was something that he would always talk about. And it's like, that's your only issue. There's so many things I'm discussing with you right now. Another thing I noticed that he would do is when I would talk to him about something that I felt, he would turn it back around on him. It's like, well, you don't. Or I did that because you did this. Or it's your fault. Him getting fired was my fault. Because I no longer allowed him to drive my car to that job where my car was getting destroyed. That was my fault. And I heard him tell his mother that he got fired because of me. It's not the first time where he's blamed instances on me. And what took place not that long ago was he asked me to use my car and I said no. And when I said no, he got upset and the man boy in him came out. If I offend somebody, sorry but not sorry. The man boy came out. He wouldn't move away from me. And I'm like, please move. He's still not moving. Well, he gets mad. He gets into my face and you're ungrateful. You're ungrateful. And he starts screaming, F me, outside. Mind you, all my children are inside listening. F me, I'm ungrateful. He doesn't care. Blah, 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 blah. That was enough for me. I was afraid. He's hit women before. He's never hit me before. But what he didn't understand was that when you've been hit before by a man, there's a trigger. There's a trigger with anything. That's a trigger for me, though. He understood completely that was one of my triggers. And he told me that there was no reason that I should feel that he was going to hit me because he's never hit me. And out of everything I've done, he would have been slapped me. But there was an instance where I was pregnant and we were into an argument. And I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. Well, he was going inside and I slammed my screen door and it nicked the back of his foot. And he turned around and he said to me, you're lucky I don't kick you down those effing stairs. I'm pregnant with our son. I was upset. He left. he went back home, which is about 4 hours away. Well, took him a month to be in there, and it wasn't working out for him. Nothing's going to work out for you when you do wrong to people, and that's just facts. It's just facts. He called me, and what did I do? Went running to pick him up. I'll bring you back. Bring you back. Had to really sit and think about what inside of me was allowing me and my children to be subjected to that type of behavior. What inside of me was making me feel that low that I ain't not gonna do it. Okay, so I really had to think about what inside of me was making me feel that much of a low self-esteem that, like, yes, son, talk to him. Say hey. Say hey, Big Diddy. Say hey. But I really had to sit and I had to evaluate myself. It's like, Andrea. You've been through all this before, and you know that you are worth so much more than that. You are worth so much more than that. And it's crazy because I should have checked out a long time ago. I am thankful where I'm at today, though. Do not ever get it twisted. Don't ever. And I want any lady or any man that's in that situation, don't ever think that you can't do it yourself if you are being mistreated or anything. Don't think that you cannot do it yourself, because what I'm pretty sure you've heard is when one door closes, another door opens. And sometimes we tend to hold open a door that God has been trying to close. But God has a way of, if you're not listening or seeing, He's going to keep elevating that situation where it gets to the point of no return. And I had to stop it before it got to that point, that physical point. But I was being abused emotionally, mentally. But I was just waiting for that physical. I should have been checked out. But I was allowing that. And I had to really look at the situation and know that I'm a very strong, independent person. What was making me feel like I needed that? Like I needed that in our lives. Had to. I can honestly say that I didn't shed a tear. Didn't shed a tear. And why? Because I knew that this, I'm worthy of so much more. I had started on a daily basis. What you smiling about? What you smiling about, sonny boy? I had to really, though, start saying things to myself. I call them positive affirmations. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am strong. I am courageous. I am wealthy. And sometimes we only think wealth is financial. My wealth to me is not just financial. My health, my mental state, everything. Because if I don't have anything, I can't give to my children. I can't give to anyone. Because my cup has to be full before I keep pouring into someone else's cup. And I was constantly trying to build him, only making him better for the next. Because that wasn't my person. And he would continuously say things like, son, I'm not laughing. You're not going to play with the boob. You're not going to play with the boob. No. I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you. But, I think that for me, I saw his potential, and that is a big no. Seeing somebody's potential. Well, sometimes they don't see it. So it's like beating a dead horse. You're trying to build something that person doesn't even realize that they have within themselves. And when I say he had a lot of potential, he had a lot of potential. Besides just being in a relationship, he had a lot of potential. And that's what I saw. I saw his potential, but I was ignoring and neglecting myself. And I can honestly say, I don't want to go back to that place. I don't want to go back to that place. He didn't want me to go anywhere. He would tell me that, well, I can't handle our son because our son cries. He's a mama's boy. But I felt that even though he cries, that's still your child too. It's still your child too. And try. When my child would scream and he would cry, he would cuss at him and say bad things. He would call him the P-U-S-S-Y word. He's a baby. He's a baby. I know that he didn't have the best upbringing. He didn't have the best childhood, but I didn't either. But I don't resort to the first thing when disciplining a child as hit them. They need to be hit. And that was another thing. That was a red flag for me. It's a red flag for me. It's a red flag that I shouldn't ignore. Discipline, 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 hit, hit, hit. No, sir. No, sir. For me, that's not it. That's not it. I was raised like that. It's not it. It's not it. This video is a little longer than I intended for it to be, but I did want to come on and I just wanted to share some of those things. There's a lot more that I'm going to go into with different little story times, and I'm going to be doing a lot more on my channel. Getting out the house finally. Getting out the house finally. And yes, son. Yes, son. But getting out the house more and doing things and enjoying the life that I am living. Enjoy your life. Life is a beautiful thing. We never know what tomorrow brings. We never even know if there's going to be tomorrow. So just be grateful for today and where you're at. I'm grateful for the person that I've grown into. I'm not perfect. I have my flaws. But the first thing I do is I'm willing to admit those. What I can say is that I am so proud of myself. And I am grateful to that big man upstairs. Because he has pulled me through some situations. And when I look back at it, I've never been alone. The big man upstairs has been with me. He's been guiding me. I might have chose not to listen, but we're all going to get on that path. Sometimes you might go left. You might be supposed to go straight. You might be supposed to go right. But either way, you're going to get to that destination, and it might take you longer than others. But it doesn't matter as long as you make it there. As long as you never stop trying and you just don't give up. I like to now write down my goals. I found one of my old notebooks, and it's been 2 years. And I can say that I have achieved every single goal that I wrote down in that notebook. And it's took me 2 years. But I am so proud of what I have done and what I am building for my family, my legacy. I am proud. My children will have something. They will have something. I'm focused now on building generational wealth, loving myself and my children. Because it all starts with self, buddy. Self. It all starts with self. Yeah. You loving this, ain't you? Say I'm loving it. Say I'm loving this. Okay, you guys. My video is about 25 minutes long, but I wanted to share those things, and I wanted to help just at least one person out there. You might be going through that. You might be going through that. And I'm going to share my life and be as open and as honest as I absolutely can. Okay? Like, that's what I'm going to do. That's what my channel is going to be. Okay, so you guys, I'm not going to say excuse him because this is what babies do. I love it. I love it. But if you're out there and you just need somebody to talk to, my email is helpinghearts888@gmail.com. Do not hesitate to email me. And for anyone that sends donations, my Cash App is $19 ANDREA 28. I had to remember. But it's 19 Andrea 28. And I thank you guys for those. I thank you guys. Boy, I thank you guys. And again, if you're new here, if you're not new here, and you've been following me on my journey, much love to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking, sharing, following us on our journey. Us on our journey. And until next time, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. No bye-bye. No bye-bye. Thank you guys.